So hello guys, today we will be solving Geeks for Geeks problem of the day, that is called as a Juggler sequence. So it is a very easy problem. I have already solved this problem, so I am making a video for you so that you can understand the concept. So what does the question says that we have given a Juggler sequence, that is what we need to create. Now what do you mean by Juggler sequence? That we are given a particular number, say for example we have given a number here called as an n, and what we need to generate, we need to generate a sequence such that at any point if my n is even, then my next number will be this, that is a square root of previous number. But at any point if my given number is odd, say for example my n is odd, then my next number would be a square root and its cube. For example, suppose my next current number is 27, so it is odd. So what will be the square root of 27? Whatever the answer comes in, we need to have the cube of it, right? So this is what we need to obtain it. And most important point is we need to keep on going generating this until and unless our final answer does not comes to as 1, right? So here is the input. We can see that n is equal to 9, so we got 9, 27, 140, 11, 36, 6 to 1. The moment we have reached 1, we will print it and stop at that point. So how we can generate? So there is one catch that we need to think of it. Now for even number, it is clear that at any point what we need to do is, so I will write it as, for even number it is for sure what we need to have, floor of square root of n. This is fixed for even number. But what about the odd number? So instead of writing as n is equal to n into n into n and then taking it as floor of square root of n, so instead of taking this, because what will happen is if you go on doing this way, for sure it will give you time limit exceeded, since it will take lot of time calculating it. So what we will basically do is, instead of writing this for odd number, I will simply write it as floor of square root of n into square root of n into square root of n. So at the end this is what it will look like, right? A raised to 3 by 2, which means, can I write like this? So if you see here, that is a raised to 3 by 2. How can I write this? Can I write it like this way? If you see, a raised to 1 by 2, and again I will be having the bracket raised to 3. So can I write like this? Can I write like this? So if you observe this sequence carefully, I am taking a square root. How many times? 3 times. So this is what I wrote. I am taking a square root of 3 times. So in order to calculate this, so this is the most easiest problem. So let's write this problem. So I already wrote this problem, so I will simply copy paste over here. If you see, I declare the vector and then I push the initial number, that is n. Then I kept on going until my n is not equal to 1. So what I did is, if my n is even, I need to simply take the square root of it. But if it is odd, what I told you over here, instead of writing this way, that is n into n into n and then taking the square root, instead of writing this, simply write this square root of n, square root of n, and square root of n, and then take its floor value, because at the end I converted 3 by 2 as a raised to 1 by 2 into 3 by 2. So this is what I did over here is, and I inserted that value in my answer, and finally I wrote the answer. Now if you try to submit this code, for sure it will get accepted. So just in case if you are new to my channel, do subscribe the channel. Here we will discuss all the LeetCode and the Codeforces contest training. Till then, have a happy coding.